The former Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba has slammed his successor, Geoff Makhubo, who's accused him of being responsible for land invasions in Fleurhoff, that's west of Johannesburg. Here's the background. Makhubo says Mashaba allowed the illegal invasions during his tenure as DA member and mayor that was supposedly to please his fragile political coalition at the expense of the city's residents. Makhubo made the allegations during the Gauteng government's fight against land invasion launch in Lenasia today. To respond to this, on the line now by the former Mayor Herman Mashaba, who is the founder of the People's Dialogue Movement. Mr. Mashaba, good afternoon to you. So the Mayor is not only intimating, but he's saying all of this is your fault because it started under your watch. Is that true?
I think it's really quite unfortunate for Mayor Makhubo to make such allegations or statements, because I'm sure South Africans are not stupid enough to actually know that when we took over the city of Johannesburg, there were already over 200 informal settlements. What we tried to do ourselves was to give dignity to these poor communities with no toilets whatsoever. People were in formal settlements for 15, 20 years without having facilities. Our focus was giving dignity to those people. But
Mr. Mashaba, let me pick you up then on that word dignity, if I may. During your tenure as Mayor of Johannesburg, how did you give dignity to the people in Fleurhoff? Did you actually do anything for them?
Well, I'm talking about Johannesburg in particular.
And I'm talking about Fleurhoff in particular. That's what we're confining our conversation to.
Yes, what I'm saying is that we were not really, we focused on the entire Johannesburg because we inherited a city with over 200 informal settlements. Informal settlements that did not really have even the basics of toilets. So why should we then pick up on Fleurhoff? And for your matter to just really know that Geoff Makhubo, for him to really make the statement, the man who was actually the agent for the Guptas officially...
Mr. Mashaba, in your tenure as Mayor of Johannesburg, did you lift your finger and do anything to help the people of Fleurhoff? I ask the question for a second time.
Yes, I'm telling you, people of Fleurhoff and other areas, we were not really focused on one particular area. We look at the entire city of Johannesburg.
So you did nothing for the people of Fleurhoff. It's a simple question. I'll put it to you for a third time. As the Mayor of Johannesburg, what did you do for the people in Fleurhoff? It's a simple question.
Yeah, but... I actually need to really understand your kind of reasoning. Why?
My reasoning is very simple, Mr. Mashaba. You've said to me earlier that you attempted to give dignity to the people of Johannesburg, including Fleurhoff. What did you do for the people of Fleurhoff?
Jeremy, tell me, was I Mayor of the city of Johannesburg or Mayor of Fleurhoff? Why do you and Geoff want to focus on Fleurhoff?
Because that's what the issue is about at the moment, because the Mayor Makhubo is accused you of being responsible for land invasions in Fleurhoff. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about your past record as the mayor of the city.
How can anyone really be responsible? We fought land invasions all over. Him and his government of the ANC, before we came in, they were selling the land of the city of Johannesburg to poor residents. That's why his former mayor, his former MMC of housing, we had to lay criminal charges against him for selling land in the city of Johannesburg.
Mr. Mashaba, you're recycling history. You've just said to me, how can anyone be responsible? Again, I bring it back to Fleurhoff. Surely people in positions of power, you were in a position of power, need to have taken some responsibility.
You look at our track record when we ran the city of Johannesburg. Metro Police was there all the time. But we're working with making sure that, obviously, the final responsibility when it comes to law enforcement lies with South African police services. When we arrest people, give them to the police, then that's where the issues really stand.
Mr. Mashaba, there are hundreds of people that have spent 2 nights on the streets as a result of these evictions. What's your message to them this afternoon? What do you say to them? What do you feel when you see the pictures of them living on the streets with nowhere to go? They have no dignity.
Well, let me tell you to look at the over 200 informal settlements which were there for the last 20 years, where people living up to today, some of them we could not even afford to really have enough money to provide services to them because they'd stolen the money before we came in. We had over 6,000 cases of fraud and corruption that we uncovered to the value of 35 billion rand, which we inherited in the city of Johannesburg.
Herman Mashaba, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed. Former Johannesburg Mayor and now the founder of the People's Dialogue.